So the Dallas Wings have a bit of a problem. And it is to do with everything to do with the roster that they have constructed. Because they are good. They're not contending good, but they're good. And I think most people would agree with my statement there. They're a good team. They're a very, very solid team. They're like, not solid, geez, they're a good team. And they're a team that's going to win probably more games than they lose. The problem is they're paying the two worst players on their team, two least effective players on their team. They're paying a combined $1.4 million to. And their money goes up every single year. Awak needs to start. And it's got to be Paige and Enrique, or Paige and AZ on the wings. Enrique should not be a starter. And I mean that. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's Maddie, it doesn't matter who it is. Because when Paige plays on the floor with Enrique, Paige becomes passive Paige. Jess Shepherd was their point guard yesterday. And she's a damn good one. Like, she was a damn good one. Like, she was their point guard. And she was the player that was setting up everything for Paige, setting up everything for AZ. It was Jess. And she was brilliant. She was absolutely brilliant at it. And that is the role she needs to be. Like, Paige, even if you want to list Paige as a point guard, Paige, if you watch her play, she's getting scores out of post-ups. Yes, she can run the pick and roll, but she's getting scores out of post-ups, back cuts. That's Paige's game. That's AZ's game as well. AZ's automatic when she gets open. But it's trying to get her open. Like, they're not going to leave AZ open if they're standing there. Like, AZ's going to get open in certain ways. But I'm going to be real. I think they fucked up bad. I think they messed up real bad with Enrique by giving Enrique a max. I think they messed up real bad by giving Alana Smith a max. I think they messed up real bad. Like, real bad. Because these are two players that are not as good as Awak and AZ. And the problem is that if you want to keep Awak, you might have to salary dump both of them. You might have to salary dump both Alana Smith and Enrique. Like, you're looking at this game here. Like, obviously, AZ out there hitting shots. But like what Jess Shepherd is capable of doing, especially while being on the floor with with AZ and Paige, is a lot. Like, she has been easily one of the best bigs in the league this year. But all of a sudden, when she comes out on the floor and neither of them, and it's Alana Smith getting in her way, and like Enrique is out there doing Enrique things. And I've always said this with Enrique, like, for better or for worse, Enrique does Enrique things. And like, this is like, even Enrique could be giving you 40. And people are like, oh yeah, Enrique. I was like, oh, Enrique is just doing Enrique things. Like, it is a 40 based purely off talent. It is a 40 on that is hard almost to replicate. Whereas you've got Alana Smith. Not Alana Smith, Jesus. You got Jess Shepherd who creates open shots for everybody. Then the problem is Alana Smith is getting paid $1.2 million and Awak's better. And I don't think we realize it. The Wings don't have the cap space. They don't have the cap space to keep Awak Coulier. Like, do you know? I don't think people understand. Awak Coulier is a $1 million player. She is a $1 million player. She is a 6'6" shooter who plays defense and plays super hard. She is a $1 million player. I'm not saying she's a max contract player. She's a $1 million player. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She is going to make $1 million somewhere. And I think if you are a fan of, like, obviously if you're a fan of the Wings, you're probably like, damn, we're not going to be able to keep her. And you're going to have to salary dump. And the problem is that to salary dump Enrique and Alana Smith, you're losing an asset. And you're not losing nothing. You're losing a first round pick. Like, that is what the cost of losing one of these assets are. Because you're not going to be able to do it for a second because you're a team that's sitting at the end of the second round. Like, you are a team that's going to be late in the first round, late in the second round. So your first round picks have a little bit less value, and especially with how much extra more it costs for a first round pick, and the fact that first round picks are now protected. The fact that first round picks are protected, if they make the team's roster, and the fact that first round picks aren't eligible for dev contracts automatically means that an early second round pick is more favorable than a late first round pick. And if the Wings are as good as people think the Wings are going to be, those picks become worth nothing. So it's at the stage where you might have to give up a first. Like Zaza, you might have to give up Zaza. And then you also have to take into account that there's an expansion draft in 2 years. There's only 1 year without an expansion draft. So it becomes really tough because some of these assets, these first round picks, are people that will be expansion bait. So I actually do feel really, really bad for for Dallas Wings fans because Jess Shepard has been a home run. Arike has been the best player in your franchise since you were the Detroit Shock. But these two contracts are awful because you're watching this team click, and it's not that they click, it's how they click. Like, you've got Jess Shepard playing like Draymond, better than prime Melissa Thomas. And it's prime Melissa Thomas who can lift her shoulders above her head. Point center, and it's like you're watching AZ show why she was drafted number 1. And you're watching Paige show what she's at her best at, which is being an off-the-ball player. I think people, when I say, oh, Paige isn't a point guard, people are like, oh, you're just trying to knock Paige. I'm like, no. Paige, it should be very obvious watching Paige that she is significantly better as an off-the-ball player. She is significantly better off the ball. It allows her to cut. Like, she's an unbelievable cutter. She's a really good post-up guard. And if you have her as this off-the-ball player who just passes the ball left and right, that's all she becomes. And the problem is when you have Arike, as we saw at the start of the game, Paige Bueckers didn't attempt a shot for her first 6 minutes on the floor. She did not attempt a shot for 6 minutes. That is an issue. No matter what anyone wants to say, that is a problem. And the problem is Paige playing with Arike. Paige playing with Arike is not it. And all the Twitter fans, they're saying they should have not re-signed Arike or traded Arike and made sure that Paige and AZ were the starters. Yous were right. AZ Fudge should start every single game the rest of this year. Arike should be traded or used as a 6-woman role because it doesn't really matter who that 5th starter is. And Alana Smith should be salary dumped right now. I think she'd suit Portland kind of well because of the way they want to play. I'm calling it Portland as just trying to convince them to take her salary because I don't think people realize it, that unless the Wings can salary dump one of Arike and or Alana Smith, Awak's gone, and Awak's one of their best players.